Hey, and welcome back to Procurement Unplugged podcast, powered by Zycus. I'm Marquise, and I am absolutely buzzing because, well, we are kicking off season 4 today. Can you believe it? Season 4.
Wow, season 4 already. That's
I
fantastic.
know, right? And we are diving straight into something that I think, no, I know is going to make you rethink a lot of what you've heard about the future of procurement tech. Our topic today, stop automating, start orchestrating. AI isn't your savior yet. It's a bold statement, isn't it?
It really is, but a necessary one, I think.
Definitely. But by the end of our chat today, I think you'll see exactly why we're saying it. And joining me for this crucial deep dive is our expert guest, Phyllis Grant. Phyllis, you've got over 9 years under your belt as a chief procurement strategist, really digging into this stuff. Welcome.
Thanks, Marquise. I'm genuinely thrilled to be back and especially excited about this conversation. It feels so crucial right now for procurement leaders to really grasp the difference between just, throwing AI at automation and truly leveraging it for orchestration.
Oh, absolutely. It's a distinction that can be a real game changer when you get it right.
Totally.
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Yeah.
You and I have seen it time and again, this big push for automation in procurement.
Yeah.
The promise of speed, efficiency, but is that singular focus on just automating tasks actually misleading us when it comes to real transformation?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. What's your take on why this automation-first mentality might be missing the mark?
Look, for everyone listening, think about it this way. Automation is fantastic for making individual tasks go faster, no doubt about it. But what if those tasks are part of a fundamentally flawed process?
Right.
All you're doing then is making the flaws happen more quickly. We've seen countless examples where simply automating things like, say, purchase order creation or approval workflows doesn't actually address the root cause of the inefficiencies.
You just speed up the bad process.
Yep. Exactly. What's fascinating here is how the allure of speed can sometimes blind us to the need for genuine process improvement. You might be shaving seconds off one task, but if the overall flow is disjointed, you're not really moving forward effectively, are you?
Right. It's like you've got a leak in your plumbing, and instead of fixing the pipe, you just install a faster pump to empty the bucket that's catching the drips.
That's a perfect analogy. It doesn't solve the real problem at all.
And that's what I see happening with a lot of procurement automation. It creates these brittle systems that just, well, they break down the moment something unexpected happens.
An exception.
Yeah, a supplier issue, a sudden change in demand, and boom, suddenly your automated process is useless because it wasn't designed to handle those exceptions.
Precisely. And that fragility is a huge risk. What's truly needed is that shift you mentioned earlier, moving from just automating individual steps to orchestrating the entire procurement process.
Hmm.
And that's where AI comes in as more than just a task executor. It becomes the intelligence that connects and streamlines all those different elements, ensuring that you, the listener, achieve truly effective outcomes.
So it's like conducting an orchestra.
Exactly. It's not just a bunch of individual instruments playing loudly, maybe faster. It's about how they all work together in harmony to create something beautiful and complex. That's the kind of coordinated power we need in procurement.
Okay, so let's really nail this down for everyone listening. What exactly is the difference between this intelligent orchestration you're talking about and just your run-of-the-mill task automation? Because I think for a lot of folks, automation sounds like a pretty comprehensive term already.
That's a great point to clarify, yeah. Simple task automation is about taking a specific, often repetitive action and making it happen automatically, usually based on predefined rules. If X happens, do Y. Very linear.
So it's straightforward.
Intelligent orchestration, on the other hand, takes a much broader, more holistic view. It's about integrating AI in a way that it understands the entire context and the various nuances of your procurement operations.
Context is key.
Absolutely. Think of tools like Zycus's Merlin AI. It's not just designed to automate steps in isolation. It's built to understand the data flowing through your processes and optimize them based on those data-driven insights. What's crucial for you to understand is that it's not just about making one part of the journey faster. It's about making the entire journey smarter and more efficient as a whole.
Right, and the key difference I'm hearing is that orchestration is dynamic. It's not just following a preset path like a train on tracks. It adapts and learns.
Yes, exactly.
So if you've got basic automation for onboarding a new supplier, it might just tick the boxes on a checklist. But with intelligent orchestration, maybe if a red flag pops up at a risk assessment, the system can automatically trigger additional review steps or even, flag it for your direct attention. It's proactive, not just reactive.
Precisely, Marquise. It's about process innovation rather than just process repetition. It's making your systems adaptive, predictive, and proactive, which, raises an important question for you listening. How can you move beyond simply replicating old, potentially flawed ways of working with new technology,
Hmm.
and instead build truly intelligent and responsive procurement functions that can anticipate challenges and opportunities? That's the goal.
Let's make this really concrete for everyone. Can you walk us through a real-life situation, maybe anonymized, where a company leaned heavily into automation without that orchestration layer and what the consequences were? I think a tangible example would really hit home.
Absolutely. I recall a company, let's call them Company X, that was laser focused on speeding up their contract approval process through automation. They implemented a system that cut the approval time by a significant 30%.
Wow, 30%.
Yeah.
That sounds great on
Completely.
paper.
On the surface, yeah, it looked like a huge win. They celebrated it. However, because they hadn't orchestrated their data and analytics properly, they completely missed out on critical insights they could have gained during the negotiation phase itself.
Ah, so they sped up the signing but missed the strategy beforehand.
Exactly. They locked themselves into potentially suboptimal pricing because their automated system was just focused on speed, getting that signature faster, not on providing strategic intelligence during the negotiation. What's fascinating, and frankly a bit scary, is how a project that seemed like a success based on that one metric, approval time,
Right.
actually led to a significant missed opportunity for cost savings and value.
So the big takeaway there for you listening is automating a broken or incomplete process just makes it fail faster, or maybe fail more expensively in this case. It's like putting that faster pump on the leaky pipe. You're just going to empty the reservoir quicker. This is why this orchestration-led approach to AI
Mm.
is so critical. It's not about doing the wrong things quickly. It's about ensuring you're doing the right things intelligently and with a clear understanding of the bigger picture.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And with a platform like Zycus's Merlin, you're not just accelerating individual tasks, you're enhancing and unifying them in a way that delivers greater strategic impact. If we connect this to your overall business goals, you can see how the true value of AI in procurement isn't just about making things faster,
Yeah.
but about making them smarter and more aligned with achieving those broader objectives.
Okay, so let's dive deeper into that then. How exactly does Zycus's Merlin orchestrate these processes to deliver those real, tangible outcomes we're talking about? What makes it different from those more traditional automation tools that might be out there? Because, let's be honest, there are a lot of vendors claiming to use AI these days.
That's true. The term AI gets thrown around a lot. Well, Merlin was specifically designed with built-in orchestration capabilities from the ground up. It's not just, bolted on AI. It's woven into the very fabric of the platform.
Okay, so it's integral, not an add-on.
Exactly. This allows it to navigate and optimize your procurement processes with a really deep level of insight. It's constantly harnessing real-time data, leveraging predictive analytics, and driving process innovation to deliver better strategic outcomes, not just faster transactions.
Can you give an example?
Sure.
Yeah.
Think about sourcing. Merlin doesn't just automate the RFX process. It analyzes historical spend, supplier performance, market trends, even risk factors to recommend optimal sourcing strategies or suggest alternative suppliers you might not have considered. Then it orchestrates the workflow involving the right stakeholders at the right time based on the complexity and risk.
So it's connecting the dots across different areas.
Precisely. What's particularly noteworthy for you is its ability to understand the intricate interdependencies between different procurement activities, from sourcing all the way through to supplier management and payment, and then optimize that entire interconnected flow.
So it's really elevating procurement from being maybe a purely transactional function to a truly strategic one.
Yes, that's the goal.
It's about moving beyond just processing purchase orders and invoices to actually driving value and competitive advantage for the entire organization.
Exactly right. It's about aligning every single aspect of your procurement operations, from how you find suppliers to how you manage those relationships long term, into one interconnected system that directly supports your overarching strategic goals.
Which really changes the game for procurement teams.
It does. And, it raises a crucial question for you listening. How can you leverage tools like Merlin to move beyond simply executing tasks and instead become a true strategic partner within your organization, contributing directly to the bottom line and overall success?
Now, let's talk about the flip side for a moment. Why do we see so many procurement leaders still kind of stuck in that automation-first mindset? What are some of the underlying beliefs or maybe pressures that keep people focused on just speeding things up, even if it's not leading to better results?
Oh, that's a complex one. I think it often boils down to a deeply ingrained belief that faster is always better.
The need for speed.
Yeah, the need for speed. And also perhaps the idea that simply implementing more technology automatically equates to better procurement. It's the shiny object syndrome sometimes.
Right, buying the tech becomes the goal, not the outcome.
Precisely. But as we've discussed, without that crucial layer of orchestration, the technology often underperforms. Implementing automation without a clear strategic vision, without really understanding the why behind the what, inevitably leads to wasted resources and subpar outcomes.
So a lack of strategic vision is a big part of it.
Definitely. And what's fascinating here is the persistent faith many have that simply throwing technology at a problem will magically solve it without taking the time to first analyze and optimize the underlying processes and ensure strategic alignment with the business.
And that's such a critical barrier to true transformation, isn't it? Because speed without strategy is really just, well, it's friction in disguise.
Friction in disguise. I like that. It's true.
You
Yeah.
might be processing invoices faster, sure. But if those invoices are for goods, you could have negotiated a better price on. Or maybe they're from a supplier with a high-risk profile you didn't properly assess.
Mm.
Have you really achieved anything strategically valuable?
No, not at all. You've just made a potentially bad outcome happen more quickly, potentially amplifying the negative impact.
Yeah.
The necessary pivot for you, the listener, is towards creating systems that are not just fast, but also nimble, adaptable, and truly integrated into your broader business objectives.
So intelligence and adaptability over just raw speed.
Exactly. If we connect this back to that orchestra analogy one last time, it's about ensuring all the instruments are playing the right notes at the right time, in harmony, not just playing them as fast as possible. True procurement transformation requires a fundamental shift in mindset
From focusing solely on individual task efficiency.
to optimizing the entire value chain in a smart and strategic way. It's a bigger picture view.
So as we wrap up this first deep dive of Season 4, what's the single most important takeaway you want our listeners to remember from this conversation? What's the key message you want to leave them mulling over?
I think the core message for you today is this. The real power, the real transformation in procurement lies in transitioning from mere automation to intelligent orchestration.
Automation to orchestration.
Yes, it's about building robust, interconnected systems that are designed to drive better outcomes, not just faster processes. This isn't about dismissing technology, not at all. It's about being far more strategic and thoughtful about how you deploy it to achieve your ultimate goals.
That's perfectly put. Strategic deployment for outcomes, not just speed. And that brings us to the end of our first episode of Season 4 of Procurement Unplugged podcast, powered by Zycus.
Well, what?
Phyllis, thank you so much for kicking off the season with such valuable and genuinely thought-provoking insights.
My pleasure, Marquise. It was a fantastic discussion. Really enjoyed it.
Likewise. And for everyone listening, if what we've discussed today resonates with you, if you're feeling that friction of automation without strategy, and you're ready to move beyond just automating and start truly orchestrating your procurement processes, we highly encourage you to explore what Zycus' Merlin can do. Check it out.
Definitely worth a look.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep those procurement processes humming intelligently.